Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Duval Dive. Of course, I am Kyle Nash, the student of the game.
And I'm Travis Holmes with BigCatCountry.com.
And you're listening to this thing on the Believe Podcast Network. Folks, I am back. But listen, for Big Game James, for Ben Troop, for the Third and Teal gang, Travis had so many awesome guests in here. I don't blame you cats if you're sad I'm back. That being said, Travis, I'm going to jump right into this humpy bumpy, man. And by the way, did thoroughly miss you, champion. But I'm not going to act like I missed the day job and doing what I did being on assignment out in the middle of the ocean. Here's the thing. In case you haven't seen the thumbnail yet, which, by the way, go to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Duval Dive YouTube channel. And while you're there, appreciate the thumbnail that mentions 8 wins stack. Now, I'm one of the people, and remember, the term we're using throughout the year is crackheadiest take. I don't do that, but I have beer, so we'll just say I was drunk at the time, maybe. I don't know. Fine. Well, whatever. I had said that it was possible for the Jacksonville Jaguars to win the division, and here we are. But that's not me. I don't deserve a victory lap, Travis, right? I listened to your instant reaction with the Third and Teal gang. Put yourself on blast for a take. And now that I'm in here in the monologue in question, I forgot what it was you put yourself on blast for. But if you're going to take heat for that, me coming out here in August saying this was an 8-win team, I need to step back. Vegas, so many people apparently owe this team an apology. And I thought it was not enough for the Chargers and saying the Chargers are going to blow them out. You and I agreed. You put yourself on blast with that, and I jumped and doubled in on it. 8 wins.
But no one thought the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Colts and the Texans would all be good. Like, that's the part that makes this all kinds of weird, because no one believed in the Colts. Let's be real. Like, I was one of the few people I knew that said the Colts were going to be a 10-win team in the playoff, in the preseason.
You're the only person I know that said 10. I'll put it that way. And I said, what was last? I couldn't find 5 wins.
And I'm still standing on business. They're going to be a 10-win team, maybe 9. I mean, it's always possible, but I still think they're going to be a 10-win team. We're already talking about it. So, did you want to get into the playoff conversation, or you want to save that to after you finish your take?
All this beast up here, I can multitask. That's fine.
All right. Well, I mean, you guys already know, like, the New England Patriots are the number 1 seed as it currently stands, with the Denver Broncos, the number 2. Jaguars are 3rd in the AFC, which is just crazy. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 3rd in the AFC with 5 games remaining and the future all in front of them. That's just freaking crazy, bro.
I mean, it's out of control. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. Do you believe any of the current division leaders are Super Bowl contenders?
Negative. AFC is all over the place. And all the mutants that you would hate to see, the Pat Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, Buffalo is the only mutant that's still in true playoff contention right now. And if Houston finds a way to squeak through, boy, oh boy, I think that's going to be dancing in all these other fan bases, because that they can have a postseason with none of the 3 mutants and no Joey Burr. Like, that's crazy. Like, the future is here, old man.
And to crown it, the AFC South might have 3 reps. What the hell are we doing here?
The AFC South, in its 23-year existence, has only sent 3 teams to the playoffs once, and that was in 2007. So we are talking about a literal once-in-a-generation item. Like, that might take place this year. Houston, they got to beat Kansas City this week. And whoever loses between Jacksonville and Indianapolis this week kind of got to handle business to get that wild card spot. But the Texans, they have a 63% chance of making the playoffs currently, and that goes up to 85% if they beat Kansas City this week. I think I actually had it from the guys over at NFL.com. Yeah, there we go. The Jaguars have a 79% chance of making the playoffs as it currently stands today. If they win against the Colts this weekend, that goes up to 95%. And if they lose, it's still a 67% chance of making the playoffs, with only a 4% chance of having that number 1 seed. I know everybody kind of want that, but that'd be crazy. And you're depending on the Miami Dolphins to like win games, which is probably very.
How about no?
Nah, bro. So that'd be a real interesting situation. I mean, again, I'd be happy for a home game for the Jaguars. I mean, you guys saw 2022. One of those. Amen. Give me all of it, bro. But yeah, that's basically what I see going on. Like right now, like is the Jacksonville Jaguars have outkicked the coverage, man. They have outkicked the coverage in every way. These boys are doubled their 2024 win total, and you have 5 monumental games left in the season. And if I have to, I shouldn't have to say this, but on the off chance anybody's still thinking about going to the game that don't have tickets, get your ass to the stadium. Like, no, you don't have but so many of these types of games in Duval County. If you've been a fan of this team for the last 10 plus years, if you can reasonably afford it, because I do know it's hard out there for some folks, like real talk, like all jokes aside. It's a little chaotic out there for some folks, but if you're doing well and you can reasonably afford it and you consider yourself a fan of this team, of this organization, you need to be down at Everbank Stadium on Sunday for
Yeah, no, I can't say it any better. And here's the thing. When we get this excited, Travis, you usually play the role of reality checker, voice of reason, if you will.
Yeah.
I got to play that game today. And let me lead by saying, this is no disrespect to the Third and Teal guys. They were great here on the dive in my presence, and I hope we have them back when I'm on the show.
Yes, fun combo.
Here's the thing. They're talking about Thanos didn't talk about inevitable as much as those cats did about the Jags in the AFC South. Slow the F down, guys.
They were assuming it's going to happen because we've never seen a collapse from the Jacksonville Jaguars, but in our lifetime before.
I mean, listen, I should have known you were going to step right in with that. The owner of this team makes me drink t-shirt. I understand that. Here's the other thing, though. Thank you for reminding me. Perfect. Those 2 games against the Colts hold extra weight. And what's one thing that history has told us? One team wins a lot at one place and one team wins a lot at the other. Unless they're making monumental changes, right? Doug Peterson was the one that broke the streak of Jags losses in Indy while maintaining dominance in Jacksonville for the most part throughout his career here. Sure. This Colts team is looking the kind of different that the Jags did in 2022 when that all broke, right? I get a little worried. And here's the thing. I'm gonna Zenith pops in at the top of the comments. Injury list keeps getting longer and longer. I think that's true for both teams here. I was
about to say, I think the Jaguars weirdly are getting healthier and healthier. Like they have other guys who are going to get nicked up, but I think they're getting shorter in some ways.
Well, that's the thing. They only had one direction to go when it comes to that. I mean, when you look at a lot of these injuries, at some point they were going to get healthier. I mean, Britton Strange is back. BTJ.
You got Eric Murray, who's now a full participant in practice today. Like, I'm not willing to say that this injury list is getting worse. I think it's actually reasonable. You got BTJ, like you said, already on the field. You got Anton Harrison back last week. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses and be like, nah, it's getting longer because we lose some guys every so often. But nah, I think reasonably speaking, the Jaguars are getting healthier right now.
But here's the thing. I'm seeing this in the comments. Shout to Storm the Desert. Daniel Jones with one leg and no running game is a zero-trick pony. Correct.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You said correct, and I say don't do that, Storm. You fall into that trap.
You said you didn't let me land the plane. Correct on the surface. Here's the thing. This team was never Daniel Jones-centric, and anybody who tried to make it that was not paying attention. On this show... Storm. Yeah. We Storm. We've seen you do better things. We're not crapping on you. I'm going after.
No, it's just that Storm. I don't think Storm watched that game last week against the Colts versus the Texans. To say Daniel Jones had one leg. Yes, he has a fractured leg. Did you watch him play? Very good game manager game, and he still ran a few times. Like one of his touchdowns was on a bootleg.
See, but you're making the same mistake, which, by the way, that is a great point. But you're making the same mistake the national media makes and will make when it comes time to vote for MVP. Jonathan Taylor runs that ish. The only reason Daniel Jones is getting, and we're getting way too much into this. It sounds like a preview topic for Friday's
Right,
episode.
yeah, right. That's Friday. That's Friday. Yeah, no.
Okay, all y'all are telling me that those games are easy just because Daniel Jones might be nicked up, which he is. I get it. You're trying to tell me you're confident beating Denver. Haven't you seen this Jaguars offense against solid defenses? Let me remind you that all 4 of the NFC West teams competed or annihilated you and did their own parts in the ones they lost. Yes, I'm mentioning the Niner game and the Cardinals game, both to shoot themselves in the foot there too. Now I know you got another one easy in there because the Titans on the schedule again. Shout out to Ben Troop, but
love Ben.
Yeah,
nah,
he
was. No. It was a good time. It really was a good time with Ben, man. Especially previewing his team, but he knows what this is. He knows that Titans team is terrible, and it is terrible. It is what it is. But I said it. If it wasn't the Titans, I would feel bad for them. Like that's how bad they were. Like I legitimately wanted to feel bad for them, and I had to check myself because I had to remember that it's the damn Titans. Like it's one of those. They were that miserable to watch. Like I felt bad for their fans almost. I said almost. I had to walk that line for a second. But nah, man, they're 2 years from being average, and that was the problem.
And here's what I find funny. You just pointed out Reyes's comments here. I'm going to bring him back up if you don't mind.
Sure.
This is one of the things I find endearing and frustrating about your fellow Duval Devout at the same time.
Okay.
Carlos Reyes in the comments. Hope Walker and Armstead play. This game has the feel of a playoff game.
Sure.
How many times have your Duval Devout completely annihilated both Walker Little and Eric Armstead? And now suddenly it's, I hope they're well.
Well, I mean, I think they just want everybody to be on all hands on board, like, and all hands on deck. And I can understand that too. You can still crap on the people and still be like, I need this team to be full strength so I know what I'm working with. I get that too. Okay. Like, yeah, like I think they've been crapping on this team for much of the season, and sometimes rightfully so. I would even say a lot of the time rightfully so. And now they're finally getting some positivity, right? Like right now, as we're talking to you guys right now, is the most positive I've heard this Jacksonville Jaguars Duval Devout fan base that I've seen. I don't know, 2017. I mean, 2020, like 2022 feels like it, but it's like they got on at the end. I think they weren't going into the second half of that season thinking that was going to be a good team. Folks went into this season thinking that this was going to be a 500 team, thinking that this was going to be a reasonably solid team just because of the coach. They had expectations already built in. And that's kind of where I'm like, all right, well, now they had a high bar early in the season. Fans, as far as I'm concerned, in my conversations, had a high bar early in the season. And then they're finally hitting that bar right now in this streak of like the last 4 games since the bye week. And fans are like, oh, this feels good. Oh, we got games that matter. We're going Super Bowl. I mean, maybe not Super Bowl, but yeah, we could be there. And all those crazy, chaotic conversations. And I understand I'm here for it. And I thought it was real funny because the season was this close to being a wrap, in my opinion. And I don't think, and I can't be the only one that saw this, because when that Trevor Lawrence scramble happened, he goes up the middle and gets a hit from Jeffrey Simmons and the other Titans defender. And I see the helmet flying. I'm like, oh, damn, Trevor, did you do it again? Right. I was like, oh my gosh. Like I thought it was over. And I think I cannot be the only one who had that heart attack, was like, oh, wait, did Trevor just knock himself out? Oh gosh. And it was just a Titans helmet that was rolling. And if I'm the only one, then cool. I guess I'll just step back. But I thought the season was wrapped. I thought that was Nick Mullins' time. And this thing was gonna be wrapped up. I didn't know if you saw that or if you had the same reaction.
I did not. That was my first time seeing that hit directly. The only thing, both times I checked into the Jags games before I either had to keep driving or I had a signal issue, was Jacoby Myers freaking touchdowns. Oh my god. And
Jacoby was balling there.
Listen, hold on. I'm pulling up the tweet. I'm throwing off your rotation because I'm talking Jacoby Myers and I need the damn stats. Since his first game with the Jags week 10, Jacoby Myers has produced 85.7 catch rate, second league, 2.75 yards per route for third, 61.9% first down and touchdown rate per target. What the hell is going on? And by the
First
way,
in the
Travis,
league.
I would remind you, he almost caught a touchdown his first game as a Jaguar, but it was called back on a penalty.
And he almost caught the touchdown on the tip pass from Calais Campbell. Oh, hate mine. He took that one away.
Not fair. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. So no, Jacoby's been balling, bro, and that's been real crazy. Like 18 catches, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, since being traded to the Jaguars. And I thought it's crazier because that's not even his biggest benefit, like his biggest impact on the team. Because we could talk about like what's changed for the Jaguars since the bye week. I mean, that's a big part of this conversation is what in the world has happened that made this team. Well, Jacoby Myers is an obvious big one. He started with the team at week 10. The Jaguars bye week was week 9. All of a sudden, the middle of the field is wide open, and Brenton Strange comes back, and those two guys are making this thing work. And I think folks know it, but I don't think folks really understand it. And I had this conversation with Dan, shout out Action Sports Jacks, Dan Griffiths, friend of the pod, and we just kicked it back, throwing stats back and forth. And I was like, dude, you don't understand. It's crazy. Targeting Brenton Strange and Myers and Jacoby Myers. Trevor Lawrence has 115.05 passer rating right now. I think y'all need to understand. That's 50. He has 587 yards and 3 touchdowns just targeting Brenton Strange and Jacoby Myers. Like if he was only targeting those guys all season long, if all the Jacksonville Jaguars pass catchers acted like just those guys, Trevor Lawrence will be an MVP by a wide margin. Like the top person right now in the NFL for passer rating right now is Drake May. That's 111.9. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how good he has been. MVP caliber when he's thrown to guys who don't drop the ball or guys who are in their right spots, the quarterback-friendly guys. That's crazy to me. Bro, I didn't talk to you about this because I wanted you to see this for the first time, but the gist of it is like, hey, man, targeting Brenton Strange and Myers, he has 3 touchdowns and 2 picks, and one of those was a tip pass by Calais Campbell, and the rest of those those 9 interceptions come from targeting everyone else, and it's just a much lower completion percentage. 85% completion percentage to those guys, 55% to everybody else. Like those 2 guys are showing us the prototype of what this Jacksonville Jaguars offense needs, like guys who are going to be in the right spot.
Yeah, and I'm glad based on what you said on Sunday about Austin Trammell that you didn't include that targeting list there. But no, simply put,
Trammell's back on the practice. Yeah, Trammell's back on the practice squad. Just FYI, I know folks had a little small parade when they waved him, and I'm like, dude, he's going back on the practice squad. Like obviously, just. So y'all know he is back in the house, and y'all can stop like defaming the man's name because he wasn't the level of the guy who should have been on the active roster, but he was a practice squad. Is Parker not added in that?
Yeah, I'm about to say Timmy Devil bringing in a rare positive comment. What's up, Tim? I'm joking with you.
Well, is Parker involved in that in the way that when I say everybody else, like, am I saying that Parker's a part of everybody else, or is Parker more in that group with Brenton Strange and Jacoby Myers? Unfortunately, I'm putting Parker in the everyone else category, even though I'm not saying that that's necessarily a Parker Washington issue. It's just it's Trevor Lawrence when throwing to Parker Washington is less accurate. Maybe it's because there's less separation. Maybe it's because of a few other reasons. At the end of the day, I'm saying Jacoby and Brenton, those 2 guys, it works. You can tell me why it works for various other reasons, but I know it works for those 2 guys. It don't work as well with everybody else. And there's levels of how much it do and don't work. Brian Thomas Jr. is way down in the list. Travis Hunter, unfortunately, for most of the season, way down the list. Parker Washington's a little higher. And then you got Jacoby Myers and Brenton Strange way up at the top. Like, that's kind of how this works.
So for all the times I've been accused of not giving this enough credit, I'll give you part of the answer. Catch the bleep ball. How about that?
Start. That helps. If you catch the ball, that's a problem. That's a real good. That's a big part of this conversation. You're probably gonna be all right. Speaking of catch the balls,
I knew you would do that. Go for it.
Speaking of catching the balls, I mean, folks got the fans have opinions, and I just thought it was interesting when the Minnesota Vikings announced that they waived Adam Thielen because he asked. And he and his representation asked to be released from the Minnesota Vikings so that he'd have an opportunity to pursue more playing time elsewhere. He wanted to, reportedly figure out a way to go to a contender of some sort. Who that may be, who knows? I think the Jaguars would be crazy not to bring him in. That's just me personally speaking. And I also know offensive coordinator Grant Udinski was with the Minnesota Vikings as an assistant to the head coach and like a special projects role, whatever, back in 2022 with Thielen under Kevin O'Connell. So in this similar scheme. So overlap wise, that's going to work. Another guy who don't drop a lot of balls, another guy who likes to eat in the middle of the field, another guy who's not going to cost you a lot of money. If you like Jacoby Myers, you love this brand new Adam Thielen. Like that just sounds right to me in my head. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You seem to have a thought on that.
Well, I mean, this is fascinating considering that off air, you told me I was king of the old man jokes, and now you want to bring another old man to retire in Florida. Okay, that's adorable and everything. But
this is where they go to retire, man. Okay, that's another reason. That's another reason he should come. Come on, man. Come and get this applesauce and oatmeal.
Just applesauce. Oh my God.
Hey man, by any means necessary.
And I'm already seeing it. Yeah, I already see it popping up in the comments. The Steelers have claimed him. That's true. The other thing is, how many short ball, middle of the field, sure hand guys do you need?
All of them. More.
I love that answer. I respect what you're going for. But stop me if you've heard these guys before. Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Brenton Strange, Tim Patrick, even on the list. But you want a fifth one.
I want all of them. And I do mean that when I say all of them. Like, you think the Rams were happy when they had Cooper Kupp and they were like, well, we got this Puka Nacua guy. I guess we can try him. Like, no. I don't care how many there are. No. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that these guys are comparable skill-wise. I'm saying you want, because we have other guys who have names. Like, you are naming sometimes, in my opinion, Parker Washington's good. Yes. Tim Patrick's cool. Yes. But if you mean to tell me I can upgrade on those guys, even though I like them, is that even a conversation? No, man. Let's go. So PT Preston says, there's been so much change on offense, though. Another new guy to figure out? I don't know. Hey, man, I love you, Preston. You sound like a loser right now. I'm just being honest with you. Like, no. You scared of bringing another guy in because that just means there's more things to figure out. If he's going to help your offense, I don't care. I do. In the words of Mike Tomlin, I do not care.
We do not care. Ironically, mentioning a Steeler is great there too. But there's another guy I might quote that he is not sounding like at all.
Hey, one of the trademarks of our leadership group is that when there's an opportunity to be bold, we won't flinch.
Nah, PT's my guy. Like, no,
PT's awesome, dude.
So I'm like, nah, don't be scared of making moves because you're gonna have to do work. They get paid millions of dollars. I get paid thousands. You think, and I work hard as hell. You think I'm gonna be talking about them not having to? They got to figure it out. Oh, don't bring another guy in. You might have to. That gives you more work. Almost cursed. Like, whatever. Like, just no. Figure it out. That is the job. If he's gonna make this team be better, figure out ways to win, and you can sleep in the summer. It is what it is.
I think Jimmy Stones has hacked Robert Lameson's account. Robert Lameson 1020. You can't live in your fears.
Oh man, I don't think it's.
I didn't know the Thielen convo was going to take this turn. Hell, just on the strength of you being.
I didn't know he got claimed. I mean, I've been in court and getting my car fixed and everything else. I missed that. So
you getting your car fixed too? Wow, that's anyways.
Man, the dang $2,000 at Christmas time, man. Humbug. The kids ain't getting nothing. Sorry.
See, don't feel so bad now, phony. He went after his kids' Christmas for God's sake.
Eric Murray coming back. Yeah, Eric Murray was a full participant in practice today, so that's dope. And everybody wants to preview the game. I mean, that's Friday's pod. It's just, I know I want to get into it so bad, but that's Friday.
Hey, blame me. I was the one that was missing for a week and a half. I owed the Duval Devout an apology. But one thing I did not get to do, well, let me get Storm to Desert in real quick. Houston's defense is scarier than any of the division leaders. Accurate. If Trevor gets hot, Jags stand as good of a chance or good of a shot as anybody.
That's facts.
I feel like, and you mentioned it Sunday. You made the reference to Eli Manning's New York Giants that handed the Patriots their one loss, and then beat them again. But I digress. I think there's some there for both conferences, right? But most importantly, and I know it's not slander, But I want to point something out to the public at large. And you may remember, you might already know where I'm going. I don't know. You may remember that my favorite draft pick wasn't Travis Hunter. It was the best one. I don't care if he's injured now or not. My favorite was round 7, LaQuint Allen out of Syracuse. And now everybody's hype. Oh, he's a madman. He's going after this guy. He don't give a damn. Hoo-ha! You know what all of this is? And granted, and you're old enough because I know how old you are. Some people may not, but that's their problem. You look great. Whatever.
Black don't cry.
Facts of the case, man. Listen. How many black folk I made feel great about themselves when I was a doorman because I carded them when they clearly didn't need it once they saw their ID? Separate conversation, my friend. Anyways, what a lot of y'all out there who are too young to know, let me explain something to you about LaQuint Allen. He's a fullback. It's what they do.
Dog.
Always. If you were surprised that LaQuint Allen is doing these things, I cannot help you. I can't.
Hey, man, we told him already, but folks don't want to watch the college tape. I understand it, but I said it like, hey, man, the pass protection, physical, always ready to fight, just straight dog, and does all the small things. And now everybody else is coming on board. I'm cool with it. Like, you got to at the end of the day, you can't make everybody know everything about football. I understand it. We looking at these details, and I'm just telling folks what I think is going to happen. I'm happy it's materializing, so I can be like, "Yeah, I got one right. Cool. I miss on some ever so often, also. So it is what it is."
However, I know you didn't say this.
Okay.
However, he's more than that too.
Okay.
When Liam Coen had his clip come out where he put the blame on himself about a play call.
Yep.
Where he took accountability, and the Duval loved it. Who was the other player in the clip, Travis D. Holmes?
No, LaQuint. And LaQuint tried to do the same thing, and he was like, "I appreciate you doing that, but nah, I'll also say I have my part in this." And I'm like, "That's dope for my coach. That's dope." I played for George O'Leary, former Minnesota Vikings coach at UCF, and that dude. But you would never hear that man say, "I did something wrong. I did something wrong in front of these dudes that made millions of dollars." Nah, bro. You'd be like, "Nah, I'm right. You wrong. The play scheme was great."
He has a statue. How could you argue with him, right? Anyways, no. But what I'm getting to with LaQuint Allen isn't just that he's a beast, which he happens to be,
but he's humble
and smart. He took accountability for knowing what the block should have been and not delivering.
That's fair. That's fair. Cal Miss Jags says, Miss Jags, 8902 says it seems like we're getting better every week. And that could be in relation to injuries. That could be in relation to the quality of play. I also think it helps that you're playing against quarterbacks who you work well against. Schematically, the kinds of quarterbacks that you just should work better against. Like, you don't work well against backup quarterbacks who get the ball out quickly, but you work great against guys who want to hold the ball and just help you get to them. So yeah, that makes sense to me. Timmy Devil. Only thing I'm disappointed in about Allen's Jr. is that they aren't feeding him. He was a pass catching running back in college. Yeah, I thought it was real interesting that they stopped throwing the ball as much to the running backs at the bye. But that's also when they stopped with the screen passes. Have you noticed that? Well, think about the last time you saw a screen for this Jacksonville Jaguars offense. Like, they mentioned going to the studs at the bye week and kind of figuring out, hey, what do we do well? What do we struggle with? And simplify the offense in a lot of ways. They got rid of a lot of the pre-snap motions. They still do it a little bit, but they got rid of how frequent they were doing it, and they got rid of a lot of the screens. You saw receivers getting ran through. You saw the offensive linemen struggling to get out in space. You saw the running back, like across the board. You haven't seen a wide receiver screen after seeing them a boatload early in the season, and it's because they struggled so much. And yeah, I think that's just helping them be more efficient and not wasting these downs. And doing this, 4-1. They've been since the bye. If I'm saying, am I right? Is it 4-1 or?
You're gonna make me look that up, aren't you? But while you're doing that,
no, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, but by the way, all these things you're
4-1.
mentioning about getting rid of the screens and all that, also adding in De'Ami Brown as a healthy scratch, being part of that evidence as well.
That was funny. That was funny. And it was going to happen because the game beforehand, he only had like 6 snaps. If it was either 6 or 4, the previous game, he only had like 6 or 4 snaps and only ran like, was kind of a known that, oh yeah, if he's not doing special teams like that too, he's not going to be active because at least Trammell does do punt return, even if he's as a backup guy. And they just seem to be comfortable throwing him the ball. I mean, at that point, Trammell's running more routes than De'Ami Brown. If that's the case, then yeah, you're going to be inactive.
And
so the only at that point, you're just bringing you're putting Trammell back on the practice squad, and you're bringing De'Ami back on because Parker Washington's hurt. If Parker Washington doesn't play, then at least you might have a little more confidence in them that way. And Trammell's main value is punt return, so it makes sense why that happened. This is why I said it wasn't a surprise when they waived Trammell at that point, just to get him right back on the practice squad. He's still in the house, like nothing materially changes. Is he Parker? I'm just looking through the comments. But while we're at it, yeah, I'll let you handle the comments and I'll get to this. Storm the Desert says, everyone be glad that Jags tickets are more expensive than when I was in college in Florida. The Gabbard years were something else. You could buy a cheap ticket and basically sit anywhere. I mean, yeah, and if you're a smart kid, they'll put you up there in the 400 section too, and so you can be up there just dying. That's the other thing, man. They be out there punishing them kids for having good grades. It's crazy. But also, if you're listening to this right now and you haven't voted, go to NFL.com/Pro Bowl. Cam Little's 5th right now in voting. Eric Armstead's 5th also. That's crazy that they're just 5th. Like Eric Armstead's leading defensive tackles and sacks.
That's crazy.
And he's 5th. I mean, his name, he's a known name after his time in San Francisco. So that's actually kind of weird to me. And then obviously Cam Little, like 70-yard field goal in preseason, 68-yard field goal in the season, and you're 5th in voting. That's just mean Duval ain't doing enough, man. So if y'all listening to me right now, like you're listening on your phone, you're listening on your computer, take a quick second, go to NFL.com/Pro Bowl, vote multiple times. If they're in teal, vote for them. Let's get these boys the deserved recognition that they need, because you don't want to have that whole small market thing happening to them that happened to Freddie T, Jimmy, Tony, and all those guys, simply because they weren't in a bigger market. You got fingers, like in the verse. If you got fingers, go to ProBowl.com and vote, man. NFL.com/Pro Bowl and vote.
If you're in teal, make your appeal. That's all there is to it.
But I also thought it was weird though, because I mean, Parker Washington should be in that mix. Like, we don't talk about Parker Washington as a Pro Bowl candidate, but why not? He was leading the league in touchdown returns. He was leading the league in average returns at one point before he got hurt. I mean, Devin Lloyd was balling out of control before he got injured. Like, he should absolutely be up there in votes also. Logan Cook. Why is he not? He's already a Pro Bowler. He's a multi-time Pro Bowler. That's just mean Duval ain't doing your job, man. Come on, get on it. You got to vote. Vote more than once.
Storming off the top rope. Rumored has it that Jacoby has been a vibe in the wide receiver room. Seeing BTJ fly down and ragdoll DBs on blocks is a good sight. I can't agree with that more. I'm glad Storm brought that up, bringing in another good point, as he often does, by the way. The concept of him going to, I'm afraid of taking a hit, to, yes, a juggernaut, is something I want to see. And it is a true sign that he's kind of recovering. And no disrespect to Ben Troop, but I think that take of something wrong with BTJ's headspace is now kind of stale. He's been bouncing back, but it just refuses to have been acknowledged. And that block was one example.
No, that's fair. No, he's back, but he's not looking statistically as he normally would. Like, that's just, so getting him back to the numbers that you're used to seeing may or may not like happen until they have that explosive one game, and you're hoping that it's not going to be like every 3 games that you just get to see a 70-yard BTJ game. So we'll see kind of how that lands, how that plane lands.
Isn't that something? You mentioned how the plane lands. Isn't that interesting? How I was in a boat so long and I still knew better than these box score watchers. Fascinating stuff.
No, but I did want to just, again, if anybody's listening to what I said earlier, Logan Cook. I never got a chance to say that because I just need an excuse to share the picture of the man. Because my guy takes naps on the field after starting fights, after getting hurt, after telling somebody he's gonna kill him. Like, shout out to Logan Cook. Like this game should absolutely get that man the notoriety that he deserves, but also folks weren't really paying as much attention to the things that he did on the side. Like he's obviously deserves to be in a Pro Bowl just because he's a dope punter. Like he's the NFL's official all-time leader in punt net average, but he also had a backup long snapper this past game because Devon Hamilton ended up being the long snapper for basically the whole first half after Ross Madisick was getting checked on for an injury. And hey man, Hamilton did a solid job. Like he did. But those weren't great snaps. I want to be honest about like saying what it was. Like and that's okay. They were off base, and Logan's finding ways to catching these things and getting the ball off. Like one was to the left, one was high. He handled them. He didn't get anything blocked. He actually got a penalty when he got hit once. And even when they punted from the end zone, Cook had to jump and catch it to still get the punt off. Like so overall, like I don't think folks caught that on the punts and on the field goals because the field goal was also a high snap that he snatches it down. And I'm like, bro, no one's paying attention to those details. They're just like, hey, man, Devon Hamilton did good when it was actually, Devon Hamilton did good, but also Logan Cook, the holder, did good.
Cooked. I got you.
That's it. So my guy, he cooked and he did what he's supposed to do and stood up and like, you see what this is. You know, this Duval. Come on, man. This was such a good game. It was so fun. Anytime they fight, it's just like the Seattle Seahawks all over. Coming these stands, catch these hands game. That's it, man. shout out Logan Cook.
Timmy Devil threw in an interesting comment. Trevor could have an arsenal heading into next year. BTJ, Jacoby, Parker Washington, Travis Hunter, Brenton Strange. Add another T like Strange, and we are an offensive juggernaut. I'm not going to answer this question because my dude Preston, PT phone home, does it better. Left tackle and a road grader.
Road graders. That's it. Speaking of road grading, we didn't even talk about Travis Etienne. I forgot about him. When I said vote for everybody, Travis Etienne should have some Pro Bowl votes. Maybe he might not get it, and I understand why, because I mean you got Jonathan Taylor Thomas in this same conference, and that makes sense.
Thomas, really?
Yeah. You got home improvement in the conference, so that makes sense on some level. But no, I mean Travis Etienne was balling, earlier in the season, and I think he should at least be getting some votes, especially if they're coming from Duval County. Y'all got to vote in a biased way. I ain't telling y'all to vote for real. I'm telling y'all to put people in teal in the Pro Bowl because they are in teal. I'm telling you to be biased for the one time.
Teal. That's right.
But no, let's get them more. They flowers though, like the Jaguars defense, bro. Against Tennessee, they were phenomenal, and folks just haven't talked much about their performance, which I think is kind of crazy. Like they were 2 of 12 on third downs, which is a 17% conversion rate. 1 of 4 on fourth downs, 2 turnovers, 4 turnovers on downs, 3 3-and-outs, and 3 sacks. Top to bottom dominant, right? And that's before we even talk about all the extra stuff, because your boy BJ Green, he has to put his stamp on the game. Another just a mess.
Good God.
Just a mess. I love BJ Green. Like this is just great. Like no matter what, if it's a Jaguars blowout, he has to get like a knockout punch. No matter what.
It's different when it's from behind like that too, from a big dude. I'm just saying.
Pause. What did you just say?
I said it's different when it's from a big dude like that from behind. Settle down. Jesus Lord, I'm in a defensive tackle. Good God.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. That's a statement.
You did that just to use that meme, that picture, and I'm not even mad about it.
Sure. I guess. Oh man. But since the bye week, the Jaguars, they're 6th in the NFL in EPA per dropback, which is expected points added. So that's just saying, like, hey man, if you pass against a team this much, we sort of expect you to have a certain number of points. So because it's a passing lead, that just makes sense. So they found a way to still get hot at the right time, and that's following the week 5 trade of Tyson Campbell. They lost Eric Murray at one point on IR. They had all that additional shuffling after they lost Jordan Lewis, Travis Hunter, Travon Walker, Devin Lloyd against the Rams and against the Seahawks. Like that's just think about all this, how we got here. All that happening with your defense, and they've still slowly gotten a little healthier, and some of the opponents kind of got a little easier. We did talk about that.
I was about to say,
but they still look dominant. The point is, you got to look dominant against sorry teams, and they absolutely have looked dominant against sorry teams. And some of that's Campanelli finding his groove. I give him credit for that. And some of that's hitting the right types of quarterbacks, schedule the right time. And some of that's just y'all doing what you're supposed to do when you're overwhelming an opponent. Like, I'm here for that, but it's the matchup by matchup, week by week. But they are doing what they got to do.
And to your own point that you've made many times, the Jaguars are notorious for losing the game that they should win. And that has happened this season, right? The Texans game was a thing. I get it. Davis Mills in the fourth quarter putting up 20 points offensively. Good God. I get it. Okay. But I think Logan hitting people on punt coverage. Yeah, legit call out, Robert. The piece that I want to bring the most attention to is the other is again the elephant in the room, and I alluded to it earlier, and I want to land the plane here.
Okay.
Games where I see the Jags struggling most, and it's interesting you mentioned the quarterbacks they're playing against, totally a factor. We made the statement a few weeks back at the Chargers game that Justin Herbert was the best quarterback remaining on the schedule. And who is it now? Is it Bo Nix? I don't know. Anyways, it's the strength of the defensive line that they're facing that I think forms their fate week in, week out.
Interesting. I don't know. That's a hard one because
name me the best defensive line that they performed well against. And I know they beat the Texans, but they sure as hell, the Jags did not perform well. Name me the best defensive line they performed well against.
I don't really have a good answer. I don't have a good answer. And I think that's something I'm going to pick. I'm going to look at the film because they struggled so much against this Tennessee Titans team on the ground this week as a run team. I thought that they were going to have an explosive game. And I have a feeling that I knew that Jeffrey Simmons was dominant in the pass rush game. What I didn't take a look at is seeing how they did so well against the Jaguars run game. And I have a feeling that Jeffrey Simmons was destroying Jacksonville up front. And I was missing the details. Like I was missing the forest for the trees, I guess. So I'm going to go back to the film and I'm going to bring that to the table for our Friday podcast, the preview. We'll see that because that's going to be a conversation piece against this Indianapolis Colts front, who was also pretty good at sacking the quarterback also. And Jaguars got to establish the run.
We'll leave all that at that. The fantastic stuff all the way. You Duval divers, man. Thank you for nothing made me feel more at home after coming back from my Thanksgiving trip than you guys in the comments handling business like you always do. And you took care of our guests well, right? I'll give shouts to the Third and Teal crew, Big Game James and Ben Troop, all of you for stepping in and making for great shows. And you Duval divers in the comments for taking care of them. And Travis, holding it the beep down during this past week and a half of action. Fantastic stuff. That being said, tell the world where you can be found, champion.
I can be found at Everbank Stadium. Get your ass there.
Hey,
but no, if you listen to the sound of my voice, hey man, come on, just click the like button, subscribe on whether it's on the Duval Dive YouTube or if you're listening to us on the audio, rate and review us wherever you catch your podcast, Apple, Spotify, etc. You can find me on Twitter, on Blue Sky, X, Instagram, etc. Travis D. Holmes. Find my writing covering the Jacksonville Jaguars at bigcatcountry.com. And yeah, I mean, just follow us on the Duval Dive TikTok. I mean, we're trying to be everywhere for the most part. So we appreciate you guys with your comments. We appreciate you guys with your support. And we're growing, man. We're almost at that 1,000 subscriber mark. I mean, we're getting closer and closer.
We did break 800. That's true. We're on our way.
It's crazy. It's just growing. Just keep this chugging along. So we definitely appreciate you, Duval Devout. Pack the bank. I mean, you said it right there, Robert. Pack the bank on Sunday. If you can reasonably afford it, let's get it. Enjoy that win. Yeah. Against this AFC South rival at home. And go Jazz, man. Let them know where you can be found, Kyle.
Of course, I can be found here once again on the Duval Dive doing the thing. Thanks for having me back, everybody. Fantastic time. Of course, I'm Kyle Nash. Just Student of the Game. You find me on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky at the SOTG. Find me on Facebook as a Student of the Game. Check out my writings with the black and gold banneret now that their football season's officially over. there'll be some interesting things coming out here soon, I'm sure. Of course, my coverage of UCF men's and women's basketball will be a factor as well on the Night Shift podcast as that drops. And then also my work covering the Orlando Magic is a thing there too as well. Make sure you check out any and all of those things I do, as well as covering your beloved Jacksonville Jaguars. There's some other things coming in the comments here that we will be mentioning on Friday's show, I can guarantee you. And if I say deposit yourself into the bank, are you going to give me another pause? Is that what we're doing now? Anyways.
Jesus. Wow. Absolutely. What do you mean? That's a pause of all pause.
Anyways, well, hey, Jaguars do have pause. There you go. So for all of you awesome Duval divers and Duval devout in the comments, for my personal champion, Travis C. Holmes, this is Kyle Nash, just tuning the game. Until next time, everyone, class dismissed.